Hello guys, welcome back to my channel as PTK. Today we are going to discuss about object-oriented programming. Python is a multi-paradigm programming language. It's about different programming approaches. One of the popular approaches is object-oriented programming, also called as OOPS, which is used to solve a programming problem by creating objects. OOP is a method of structuring a program by bundling related properties and behaviors into individual objects. We will start discuss object-oriented programming features such as inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Now let us discuss about class, a user-defined prototype or blueprint for an object that defines a set of attributes that characterize any object of the class. For example, Kartik, Nutana, Rahul and Ravi are all objects. So we can define a template, also called a prototype, in class humans for these objects. The class can be defined the common attributes and behaviors of all objects. Object. An object is an instantiation of a class. An object is an entity that has attributes and behaviors. For example, Nutana is an object who has attributes such as height, weight, color, etc. and has certain behaviors such as talking, walking, smiling, etc. Now let's discuss about methods. As we discussed above, an object has attributes and behaviors. These behaviors are also called methods in programming. So methods are functions defined inside the body of a class. They are used to define behaviors of an object. I explained about classes, objects and methods in the previous video. Please go through it. Now let's talk about OOPS feature. We will start discuss the object-oriented programming features such as inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction and encapsulation. Today in this video we are going to discuss about inheritance. Inheritance is transfer of the characteristics of a class to another class that are derived from it. In general, inheritance is the mechanism of deriving new classes from existing ones. By doing this, we get a hierarchy of classes. In most class-based object-oriented languages, an object created through inheritance, a child object acquires all. Generally, I use the dialog from relatives that you look exactly like your father. The reason behind this is called inheritance. From the programming aspect, it generally means inheriting or transferring of characteristics from parent to child without any modification. The newly formed classes are called derived child class, and the classes that are child class are derived from is called parent or base class. Parent class is the class being inherited from, also called as base class. A child class that inherits from another class, also called as derived class. Now let's discuss about child classes. Child classes can override or extend the attributes and methods of parent classes. In other words, child classes inherits all of the parent's attributes and methods, but can also specify attributes and methods that are unique to themselves. I'll give one example. In most of the cases, generally one parent has curly hair. The child inherits the curly hair from the parents. It's an attribute that you were born in. Let's say you decide to color your hair red. Assuming your mother doesn't have red hair, you are just overridden a hair color attribute that you inherited from your parents. Usually, we inherit our mother tongue, that means a language, from your parents. If your parents speak English, then you will also speak English. Now imagine you decide to learn a second language like French language. In this case, you have extended attributes. You have added the attributes that you don't have, that your parents don't have. The benefits of inheritance are well represented in the real world relationships. Inheritance provides of reusability of code. We no need to write the same code again. Finally, I can become lazy again. Inheritance allows us to add more features to class without modifying it. And intransitive in nature, which means that if class B inherits from class A, all the subclasses of B would automatically inherit from class A. Now let me give the example of types of inheritance. Single inheritance means one class inherits from a class. Here, can you see the example here? Class B is inheriting from class A. So class B is the child class A is the parent class, and the child class is inheriting from parent class. This is called a single level inheritance or single inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means three classes like in a real world relation. Class A, class B, class C. Here class C is inheriting from class B, that is the artist inherited from class A. So here class C is inherited from class B, class B is inherited from class A. Here we can say grandparent, parent, child. Hierarchical inheritance, that means two classes and inheriting from the same one class. Multiple inheritance, here one class inherits from two classes. I'm going to show examples in code at the next video. For now, bye bye.